Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Have you ever found something that you think, no, that you know is better than a hype on something else?
Just give a little bit of verbal affirmation just to get the crowd going. Yes, 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 yes.
So today I'm talking about this. This is Redline. This is their Hive Edition, Elements Hive Edition. And so this right here is a bourbon that's done in honey cask and amburana. And what does that sound like? That sounds like Rio. I said it last year, and I'm hoping I can say it again this year. This is the Rio Killer. Not everyone's into amburana. I like cinnamon stuff. Not everyone likes the bourbon this sweet. I like honey cask stuff. So when I tried, the Rio last year, I enjoyed it. But when I got into this red line, I just enjoyed it more. And now this is a brand new batch that came out to one of our local stores. One of the bourbon groups was talking about it the other day that, hey, it finally dropped. I was able to get in there and get a bottle. Very excited about that because they go fast. They do limited batches on this when they do it, and they tend to go really, really fast. So excited about that. I've already got some thoughts about this and something for the September giveaway for Patreons. So looking forward to that. A lot of fun this week already, too. Monday night, a bunch of other content creators. This was started with Baker Drinks with Troy and Laura, but a lot of us were there, and we got to talk with Westward, a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Westward, doing their single barrel program. Had a great time doing that. Going to put out some content about that, but looks like there's something in the works for a group of us to have a pick together, and I am very, very excited about that. Still working through. We have some people that we were still working through with on stuff on what exactly we're going to do, quantity, this, that, and the other. Most importantly today, keep Carlos over at Whiskey Corner in prayer. His father had passed away, and he's been handling a lot of the stuff for that this week. Just keep him and his family lifted up in prayer. Absolutely appreciate that. Carlos is an amazing individual, and I know all of us are praying for him, so I'd ask that again. So let's get into this red line over here. So this is Indiana Juice, so assuming MGP. It's bottled in Kentucky. Cool. It's 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. So it's got a really nice mix of things that I tend to really, really like. MGP juice is it's kind of a higher rye, 21%. Now some people will say, it used to be 8 or 9% was high rye. Now it's, now you've got a lot of higher rye stuff out there, 40%, but 21% is a good mix for me. So you get some of those great spices. This is coming, I think, 112 proof, 112 proof. So looking forward. This is batch B3. Man. And like I said, this is one of those bottles that last year just, for me, I enjoyed it better than the Rio. So looking at the color on this, I mean, it's almost kind of a deep honey color on there, I guess pun intended on there. We got beautiful coloring on there. Legs are definitely taking their time to form up there. But let's get in on the nose and see what we got on this. On the nose, first thing I get, of course, you get that cinnamon. I do get that honey right off the bat, but I get this bready note off of it. So it's almost like and a little bit of raisin on there. So it's almost like a cinnamon raisin bread. Getting some brown sugar on there. So I'm getting a lot of, like I said, like a almost a dessert bread type of thing. Kind of like a raisin cinnamon bread that maybe has a little bit of brown sugar in there. You're getting some of that rye in there a little bit on the nose. Hint of vanilla, a little bit of raisin in there. So there's a lot of neat things just coming off on the nose on this. Legs are just starting to form on this thing. They're coming down the side. So the legs are a little bit longer and thinner than I thought they would be, but I'm still seeing plenty of oils in there. Curious how the mouthfeel is going to be on this. I get like the faintest bit of chocolate on this too. So there's really neat things going on in here. Let's see what we get on the palate. Wow. This was just so neat right off there. And this kind of hit me towards more of the back of the palate than the front of the palate. But I got this incredible wash of like exactly what the nose was giving me, but the chocolate was a little bit intensified too. So it was almost like I had this great piece of raisin bread that had a little bit of brown sugar and chocolate in there as well. Getting a nice hug through the center, 112 proof, not burning me up. The second drink, I'm getting a little bit more of kind of the rye and the bourbon notes on it, but still that beautiful cinnamon. The honey's there too. Getting a little bit of a pepper, getting a lot of this sweet, sweet breadiness on the back, the rye spice on the back, the vanilla up front on there. Now I'm getting a little bit of that. Just a beautiful warming in the chest on this too. So like I said, for me, and everyone's different on their proof points, but in that 110 to 120-ish range, maybe a little bit higher, it's kind of my range. And that's the things that I like. Now it might be, and for me, it's perfect. Other people might like it a little bit higher. Some people might like it a bit lower. It just depends where you're at in your bourbon journey on that. I tend to like things that are in that 110 to 120 plus proof. And higher sometimes. Yeah, this is just like, kind of like, this one screams fall. This one screams fresh baked goods, hanging out with a family member that really knows how to cook, and they treat you with something really, really nice. My mom was an amazing baker, and I loved when she would do, whether it was a banana bread or when she would do, some kind of a special loaf or something like that at the holidays. Got some friends that are that way too. Man, I got a lot of wonderful older Southern ladies at church that when we do something at church and they just throw down, it's like eating some of their amazing baked goods. So this one just screams fall for me. The cinnamon is not overpowering. Now, I'll preface that I like cinnamon a lot, but this is more of a smoother, gentle cinnamon. But for some others, it may be like, I just can't get into it because of the cinnamon. But if you're a cinnamon fan and you like a nice sweet bourbon that will just remind you of a great baked fall dessert, I think this is the one for you. I know now in September, I'm going to put together some Rio, a couple of these red lines, and I'm going to do a blind on them, but I'm going to make that the September Patreon pack. So looking forward to that. I think that'll be fantastic. Would I buy a backup on this? So we'll go by the tater factor on this. Tater factor on this is, I think it was $85.99 for the bottle. I would actually say I would pay more for that. So I'm giving it like a 0.75 tater factor. I'd probably pay up to 115, 120 for that bottle. So for me, the value for this, and this is just for me, I would say I would buy this. I would have a backup. Anytime I saw something somewhere, because of how much I enjoy this, I would grab it again. So I think they do a great job there. Great things there, man. Like I said, tater factor of 0.75, which means that I would pay 125% of what this bottle cost me. easily, and I would be happy with it and content with it. Look, it's Wednesday. By the time you see this, it'll be after lunch. We're on the downhill slide for the week. It's hard to believe it's Wednesday already. Man, looking forward to what the week has to bring. Have a nice big breakfast with the team this morning at work. Excited about that. Look, most importantly, if you are working today, I hope your workday goes by fast. I hope you're successful in everything you do. I hope you bring great energy to your teams and they bring it right back to you. You know, you guys can feed off each other in the positive. A lot of times people feed off on the negative, but feed off each other in the positive. You know, we're at work because we have families to support. We have things that we want to do. So make sure you're taking care of yourself there, but feed into positive energy and get some of that positive energy back. Look, when you get out for work, I hope that dial just turns it down for you a bit. I hope things slow down so you can do some of the things that you want to do. Grow as a person. Take some time for yourself. Invest in yourself, but that way that you have the energy to invest in the other people. Have a great pour with someone, watch a great show, read a good book, learn something new. I told my son the other day, if I'm not learning something new every day, I think I've wasted a day. So learn something new. But most importantly, y'all, cheers and God bless. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you.